change your destiny with one mindset shift: act as if it's already working out. Let me ask you something. What if the single biggest thing holding you back wasn't your lack of resources, talent, or time, but the way you're thinking? Now, I know that sounds bold. Maybe even a little frustrating. But here's the truth most people never hear: life doesn't respond to your need, it responds to your belief. And the most powerful belief you can carry? That everything is already working out for you. Even when it doesn't look like it. Especially when it doesn't. Sounds like a fantasy, right? A luxury for the lucky or the naive. But what if it's the opposite? What if acting as if things are unfolding in your favor is exactly what causes them to? Not by magic, but by design. Because your mindset, the lens through which you view the world, is shaping your behavior, your emotions, your energy, and your outcomes. Shift that lens, and your entire destiny begins to bend with it. This isn't about faking anything. It's about training your brain to expect growth, to find meaning, to create movement, even in moments of stillness. And in today's video, I'm going to show you exactly how to use this mindset to unlock not just confidence, but creativity, abundance, purpose, and unshakable resilience. Because once you learn to act as if life is on your side, well, that's when life finally starts to be. The key to success, happiness, and resilience isn't a perfect life, it's a powerful mindset. Specifically, act as if everything always works out for you. It's not the absence of problems that defines a successful person, it's their presence of mind. Life will always test you. That's not a threat, that's a guarantee. But those who walk through storms with their head held high, who keep their fire alive even when the winds howl, they've discovered something deeper. They're not waiting for life to get easier, they've trained their mindset to become stronger. This isn't about toxic positivity or pretending that pain doesn't exist. No, it's about resilience, about a kind of inner self-confidence that whispers, "This too shall pass, and I'll be better for it." It's about waking up in the morning, even after a sleepless night, and deciding to show up, not for the world's approval, but for your own personal growth. That's what it means to act as if it's already working out. You see, when you live with that kind of presence, the universe starts to move differently around you. You send out a signal, a frequency of positive energy, of proactivity, of abundance, and opportunities begin to show up in places you weren't even looking. Not because you're lucky, but because you're aligned. And once you understand this, well, that leads us directly into something most people get completely wrong. Mindset over circumstance. Life doesn't always go to plan, but your attitude determines your experience. He had no degree, no special talent, no wealthy family backing him. But he walked into every room as if he belonged there. That's what separated him from the rest, not luck, but mindset. While others were busy blaming traffic, the economy, or their past, he was adjusting his sails. You see, life's not about controlling the wind, it's about learning how to steer. And those who learn that, are the ones who rise, over and over again. It's easy to believe that people who thrive just got the better hand. But peel back the curtain, and you'll often find years of persistence, late nights, and tough decisions. What they really mastered wasn't success, it was resilience. They chose to see setbacks as setups. They practiced reframing, they took responsibility, and they refused to drown in scarcity when they could choose abundance. The truth? Every successful person you admire once stood at the edge of doubt, and walked forward anyway. And here's the part that'll challenge you: your circumstances don't define you, your response to them does. You could be in the middle of chaos and still radiate peace. You could be surrounded by failure and still see the seeds of your future. This is not about denial, it's about intelligent optimism. About asking better questions like, "What is this trying to teach me?" or "How can I grow from this?" And that very question, well, that leads us to a deeper understanding of what it truly means to act as if. What it means to act as if. Believe deeply that everything will ultimately work out in your favor. This isn't blind optimism, it's intelligent optimism. To act as if isn't about lying to yourself. It's about aligning your thoughts with your higher potential, not your present limitations. It's waking up and choosing to think, speak, and move as the person you're becoming, not the one life tried to convince you that you are. It's like putting on a new suit tailored to your future, a mindset that whispers, "I'm already becoming." This shift isn't magic, but the effects? They often feel miraculous. See, most people wait for a breakthrough before they believe. But those who truly evolve? They believe first, and then the breakthrough comes. Acting as if is about building emotional muscle. It's a mindset of self-confidence, of visualization, of proactive action. It's choosing to walk into a room, even with trembling hands, as if you're already welcome at the table. That energy changes how people respond to you, but more importantly, it changes how you respond to yourself. Now, this isn't pretending everything's fine while ignoring your problems. That's delusion. What we're talking about here is emotional intelligence, knowing the storm is real, but refusing to give up your sail. When you ask, "What's the opportunity here?" instead of, "Why is this happening to me?" you begin to uncover strength that's been dormant. And it's in that choice, right there, where the real transformation begins. But what really fuels this shift are the key mindset changes that follow. Key mindset shifts. From victimhood to empowerment. From scarcity to abundance. From fear to courage. From perfection to flexibility. From obsession with outcomes to appreciation of the journey. The biggest breakthrough? It rarely comes from the outside. It comes the moment you stop asking, "Why me?" and start declaring, "Why not me?" That's the bridge between victimhood and empowerment, when you stop waiting for permission to grow and realize your life is yours to build. Empowerment isn't loud. It's quiet, steady, and stubbornly committed. It whispers, "I don't control everything, but I always control what I do next." That's where freedom begins. Then comes the shift from scarcity to abundance, and oh, how different life looks from that place. Scarcity tells you there's not enough time, money, love, chances. But abundance? It reminds you there's always more where that came from. More growth, more learning, more opportunity. The difference? Scarcity waits. Abundance creates. And the people you admire? They aren't just lucky, they've trained their minds to see what others overlook. They expect the best and act accordingly. Fear? It will never disappear. But the courageous learn to move with it, not away from it. That's the shift from fear to courage, from needing a perfect path to being willing to start messy. From needing guarantees to embracing the unknown with faith and flexibility. When you stop worshiping perfection and start practicing progress, you unlock a different kind of power. One that embraces the journey, not just the result. And in that space, you gain access to tools most people never even think to use. Powerful practices and tools. Reframe challenges. Practice gratitude. Visualize vividly. Ask better questions. Use empowering language. Every storm feels personal, until you learn to reframe it. What if that failure wasn't the end, but the exact nudge you needed to pivot? What if that closed door was saving you from a room too small for your dreams? Reframing is the ability to look at the same situation through a more empowering lens. It's not about lying to yourself. It's about asking better questions. Try this: next time you hit a wall, don't ask, "Why me?" Ask, "What is this building in me that I'll need later?" And then, there's gratitude, the most underestimated superpower of all. When practiced intentionally, it rewires your brain to look for what's working instead of obsessing over what's not. You don't have to wait for something big. Be grateful for the hot coffee in your hand, the roof over your head, the lesson hidden inside that mistake you wish you hadn't made. Start with 3 things every morning. Keep a journal. Make it a habit. You'll be surprised at how quickly your perspective, and your energy, shifts. Now, combine that with visualization, and you've got a recipe for momentum. Athletes do it before competitions. CEOs do it before board meetings. Why not you before your day starts? Close your eyes, see your goals, feel them already happening. And here's a bonus: swap weak language for power language. I have to becomes I get to. I can't becomes how can I? These micro shifts? They create macro results. And they open the door to benefits most people only dream of. Benefits of this mindset: resilience, creativity, better relationships, career growth, health, purpose, legacy. There's something powerful that happens when you stop reacting and start responding. That's when resilience becomes your default setting, not because life got easier, but because you got stronger. You bounce back quicker. You stop seeing obstacles as stop signs and start treating them like speed bumps. The world doesn't change, but your perception does. And that's more than mindset, it's mental armor. And then comes the quiet but powerful rise in creativity. When you're no longer trapped in fear or scarcity, your mind opens up. New ideas, new solutions, new connections, they start appearing where you used to see roadblocks. Relationships improve too, because your positive energy becomes magnetic. You attract better people, respond with more authenticity, and lead with self-awareness. You stop trying to fix everyone, and instead inspire them by example. In your career, this mindset makes you someone others trust. You become the one who brings solutions, not excuses. The one who shines when pressure mounts. You stand out, not by yelling louder, but by showing up with determination and self-discipline. Even your health improves. Stress doesn't own you anymore. You start sleeping better, breathing deeper. And in all of this, something bigger starts forming, a sense of purpose, a drive to leave a legacy that matters. And that matters most when life gets hard. When life gets hard. This mindset doesn't deny pain, it processes pain and finds meaning in it. Strength is built in the storm. It's easy to talk about mindset when the sun's out and everything's going your way. But what about when the sky falls? When the call you feared actually comes? When the door slams shut and stays shut? That's where the theory ends, and real resilience begins. Acting as if everything always works out doesn't mean pretending life is fair. It means believing you'll rise even when life isn't. That kind of belief? That's forged in fire. In the face of pain, most people collapse inward. But those rooted in purpose ask different questions. How is this shaping me? What version of me is this preparing? This is intelligent optimism, not denial, but a refusal to stay small. It's the art of reframing tragedy without losing your humanity. And listen, no one escapes hard times. But those who grow from them? They find meaning, even in the mess. That's not luck. That's choice. Remember, diamonds are made under pressure, not comfort. Some of your greatest chapters will begin with a broken sentence. And the deeper the storm, the louder the lesson. These are the moments that demand courage, self-love, and a mindset that sees beyond the moment. It's not easy. But it's worth it. Because if you stay in this space long enough, you'll discover a truth that very few ever understand, and that's where we go next. Final truths. You're not faking positivity, you're training your brain to expect good and find opportunity. This mindset becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. You've probably heard it before, fake it till you make it. But that's not what this is. You're not faking anything. You're training your brain, rewiring it, to expect better outcomes, to search for the open door instead of staring at the locked one. This isn't about ignoring pain, it's about refusing to let pain define your potential. Your thoughts? They create patterns. Your patterns? They shape results. Change the way you see things, and the things you see begin to change. Here's the secret: what you believe about life becomes how you experience it. If you walk through the world expecting rejection, chaos, and loss, that's what your mind will seek. But if you anchor yourself in optimism, in abundance, in the belief that things are unfolding for your good, suddenly, the setbacks feel softer. The delays feel strategic. You begin to notice synchronicities that others miss. And you act with clarity, because you're no longer operating from fear, you're moving with inspired action. And the most beautiful part? This mindset doesn't make you perfect. It makes you authentic. It makes you present. You're no longer chasing worth, you're building it from the inside out. You're not forcing results, you're attracting them. And just like a flame draws in the cold and transforms it into warmth, your success mindset becomes a light, not just for you, but for everyone watching. And as Rohn once said, act as if. That's where it all begins. Rohn's wisdom echoed. Act as if. Act as if you're a wealthy man, rich already, and then you'll surely become rich. Act as if you have unmatched confidence, and people will surely have confidence in you. Rohn didn't just give advice, he gave people permission to become more. And one of his most profound truths was this: act as if. Not because you're lying, but because you're leading, starting with yourself. Walk like someone who's already achieved what you're working toward. Speak like someone who's already overcome the fear. Carry the energy of the future you, right here in the present. That's not pretense, that's proactivity. What happens when you do this? People respond. Not just people, opportunities too. It's like the world begins to echo back the message you're sending. You act with self-confidence, and others trust your leadership. You move with determination, and doors you never knocked on begin to open. You step into a room with abundance in your heart, and suddenly, scarcity loses its grip on your reality. That's not just theory. That's observable. That's real. Rohn understood something most miss: reality doesn't shift because you wish for it. It shifts because you prepare for it. Expect it. Align with it. Act as if is a principle rooted in self-discipline, in deciding that your current circumstance isn't your final form. It's a way of saying, I respect the future enough to become it now. And if that sounds bold, just wait until you see what happens when you live it. But before we get there, let's talk about how this one belief can change your destiny. So now I'll ask you, what would happen if you started acting as if everything really was working out for you? Would you walk with more confidence? Take more risks? Love more deeply? The truth is, most people wait for permission. They wait for proof. But those who change their lives? They act first, and let the world catch up. You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to decide that you're no longer available for fear to be in the driver's seat. What's one challenge you're facing right now that you can reframe today? What would shift if you saw it as a stepping stone, not a stop sign? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear from you. Was there a moment in this video that sparked something? A line that hit? A mindset you want to start practicing? And if this message spoke to you, don't keep it to yourself. Subscribe, turn on notifications, and share this with someone who's ready to rise. Because this is just the beginning. And if you keep showing up with the right mindset, the right energy, and the right vision, you won't just change your life. You'll change your destiny.